happy people. This is April. This is time for action in Aries. And as at the time of the new moon, particularly one in Aries, it's bringing lots of energy and it's a great time to start new projects. In this case, is this energy related to the rollout of the vaccination in Australia? Maybe. As another thought, I've also heard several wise folk refer to these times as the beginning of the Sixth Extinction. What does that mean? Is it really happening? And is there anything we can do to change that? What power do we really have? Well, we can make healthy choices for our mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Living consciously is good. Are you living consciously? I am very concerned about media being censored everywhere. We're supposed to have freedom of speech in a democracy. There's no democracy here at the minute. You may be aware that Facebook and Google have already censoring to exclude perspectives that do not support the power and control agenda. I believe we need to think what is happening, how it can impact us, and how we can act or react in healthy ways. And for this reason, I'm moving much of my social media activity to Telegram, an alternative to Facebook. And so I'm trying to work in line with the energy of the Sun of Aries in my house of public persona and career, and Mars in Gemini, my ascending sign. And remember that I'm happy to help you adjust your activities to align your chart with the energy of the planets as they're moving around. Just have to message me. So we have new moon energy with the Sun in Aries conjunct the moon, and it's a great time to start new projects. And if you have significant planets in air signs, particularly Gemini, it's even better because Mars in Gemini stimulates ideas and communication fast. You know, the combination of air and heat, we get hot air. Wow, does that flow quickly. As I've mentioned in previous videos, previous newsletters, as background energy this whole year, we have Uranus in Taurus, representing the new, challenging Saturn, the old, in Aquarius. We can expect a year of disruptions. Relinquishing what is familiar is not comfortable. But often when we do, we find that actually the new isn't as bad as we thought it might have been. So let go of things that are no longer serving you. The Sun is in Aries, a warrior sign, joining up with Mercury, communications, and Eris, the female warrior energy. And together they're challenging the power energy, Pluto in Capricorn. So we can expect protests and disruptions. Is this represented by the adjustments being made to practices around sexual harassment and domestic violence? I believe we certainly need to change behaviour where there is unwanted exercise of power one over another. And just this week I heard that the Australian government has assented to regulations, legislation, something that includes the judiciary and the politicians in the laws relating to sexual harassment. Hello? Why is this just happening now? What's made politicians and the judiciary previously exempt? The other significant alignment right now is a square aspect between Mars and Neptune. And there are differing views about how to utilize this energy. If you think about Neptune as illusion, dreams, spirituality, deception, and you look at Mars as action, challenging that sort of very ethereal energy, So if you've been dreaming, Mars might either cut down those dreams or might help drive them to manifestation, particularly if you've got strong Earth in your astrological profile. Another possibility is that Mars can drive a sword of reality through a whole lot of deception. Let's look around and see if there are any examples. Perhaps could that be the expected rollout of vaccinations, in inverted commas, in Australia has not happened as planned? Part of that is a supply issue. Part of it is due to some adverse reactions from patients who have received the vaccine. Vaccines are Neptune energy. Mars is action. It could be Mars challenging the vaccination, in inverted commas, or it could represent the jab per se. Now, considering that we have been on the receiving end of some amazing deceptions by those whom we have previously trusted with our well-being, we think we live in a democracy. But is a state of emergency a democracy? I understand that under declared state of emergency, there are directives that can force folk to follow the government directives, some of which oppose our basic human rights, our basic right to choose about our own sovereignty. What if you do not agree with government directives? How does that work? Is that really democracy? There's much debate about this vaccination, and in inverted commas, and I'm not advocating a particular view, because I do believe it is our sovereign right to make the choices about our bodies for ourselves. However, if you are considering accepting the vaccination, I suggest you ask yourself some questions. Have you done your proper research, understanding that you are responsible for your body, not the doctor, not your partner, not your parents? Who or what is your information source? Are you really confident of their credibility? Have you researched more than one source, preferably differing perspectives? Have you intelligently considered that there are other perspectives? Will this vaccination protect you from the virus? How do you know? Will this vaccination protect from the virus others with whom you have contact? Who benefits if you accept the vaccination? How is vaccination defined? As far as I understand vaccination, it means that part of the substance includes a small amount of the virus material that it's supposed to counteract. Is that what is in this material that is in the vaccination that you're considering? Or is this vaccination a clinical trial of material that could potentially affect your DNA? While the authorities are reassuring the public about adverse reactions, maybe you want to review what some people have experienced. I'll put a link at the bottom of this video for you to have a look at. There's a Facebook group which is it says Adverse Reactions Australia. You might want to have a look at that. Yes, they could be false stories, but why would you bother? Anyway, I'm asking you to just be sure that what you're doing for you is the right thing. Because if it is a clinical trial, do you really want to be part of that? What are the consequences for your body? What are the consequences for your family if you exceed and your body has a serious adverse reaction? Does the medical system or your medical insurance cover you? If you have a life insurance policy, will it provide the expected protection for your family if you have a severe negative response? If you are male and expect to have children, have intentions about having children, how will this substance affect your sperm? Whatever choice you make is your choice to make. Just make it wise. I mentioned in the introduction the Sixth Extinction. And some of the conversations I've heard in the last few weeks suggest that humanity as we know it is in the beginning stages of what is termed the Sixth Extinction. Humanity has had cycles where it has flourished previously, and I'm sure you know about that. We only have to look at what we know about the Roman civilization and how advanced and successful they were before they imploded from within. Is this what's happening to us? Atlantis was an advanced civilization about which we know nothing from our history books because it disappeared into the sea, or so we're told. Why? Egypt was also all-powerful in the ancient world. What happened to their power? Can we change that extinction trajectory if indeed that is what is happening? If you look around, we are being challenged at all levels of our existence. Our health, our environment, our financial systems, our governance, our agriculture, our entertainment. All of these are colliding at once. It's exhausting and it's scary. I just viewed an interview with Naomi Wolf, which may provide you with food for thought. And I'll put the link down below. It's asking some fairly heavy questions. So, what can we change? What can we do? Or just do we accept the current world situation as a free lesson in pain and discomfort and find creative ways to deal with it? Some things we cannot change. What power do we really have? Remember that energy follows thought. If we're always in fear of what appears to be happening around us, we will attract that energy. On the other hand, if we take time out to invoke, to imagine, to feel a different reality that honors all living beings and respects the earth, we will draw that energy to us. May I suggest some other things that are within our power to change? Turn off the TV. Did you know that much of what is being offered is programming your mind in very subtle ways to think in a particular way? Be very discerning about what you allow into your visual field from your phone or your computer. Are you spending all day on your phone? Get off it. Choose your newspapers if you bother to read them, and magazines wisely. It's good to consider many differing viewpoints, but do you need constant dark predictions? Oh, it's all doom and gloom. Remember that the intelligent internet is sending us more of the stuff that we like We keep liking and we keep wanting to see, and also keeping tabs on us. Choose to read some uplifting books. Go to your local library. I find some interesting books in op shops, and I can send them back when I've finished. We can all spend more time in nature. You're not that far from a park, even if you live in the city. Go cycling, go bushwalking, go hiking or kayaking or something outside. Walk in the park or on the beach often. Take your shoes off and walk barefoot on the earth. Swim in the sea. It cleanses the physical and the etheric body. Spend quality time with those people you love. Love them for who they are. We've all got quirks. Choose foods that nourish your body and eat mindfully as your body needs. So instead of vacuuming the food down your throat, take time to chew it and think about it and appreciate where it's come from. Chew it 30 times before you swallow it. Remember, the saliva also helps pre-digest the food and makes it much easier on the stomach. If you're not well, try some non-pharmaceutical remedies. Megadoses of vitamin C is very helpful as it helps the body's natural immune response. But do check any supplements very carefully for the source of that vitamin C and the actual amount. If you include plenty of garlic in your diet, that is usually helpful because it's a very natural form of vitamin C. It's a bit smelly around other people, but get them to have some too. You won't notice. Vitamin D sometimes needs supplementation, particularly in the northern hemisphere, but even in the southern parts of the world, if your body's unable to access sunlight. Here in Australia, we've been very good at the slip, slop, slap, and can unwittingly deny the sunlight to kiss your skin. It only needs to be 10 to 20 minutes a day, but in morning sunshine and not in the middle of the day. Most people are zinc deficient, so a zinc supplement may be useful, but be aware that you can overdose on zinc. So be very careful how much you take and how frequently you take it. What else can you do? Spend time alone. It doesn't have to be a lot of time, and busy mums, busy parents don't have a lot of time, but take 10 or 15 minutes out for you, at least, for prayer and meditation, invoking a world where people are kind and loving to each other and to the earth. The more of us we do that, the more energy we'll bring in, the more of that energy we'll bring in. Choose to purchase items that come with a minimum packaging, or at least packaging that can be recycled. Do you need to buy new, or can you recycle something that you have or something from the op shop? If you can buy fruit and veggies direct from the farmer, that is best for both you and the farmer. I'm finding that a lady called Dr. Edith Ubuntu Chan has much wisdom to share about health and nutrition, and you might find some value on her website. She's a Chinese medicine doctor and has had some quite interesting spiritual experiences, so go and have a look at her too. Now, I mentioned previously censorship of mainstream media and, censorship, well, that's true, censorship of mainstream media, but censorship of social media as well. So, we're not getting the full truth no matter where we look for it. So I'm going on to a platform called Telegram, where folk are free to post their own views and there's opportunity for debate. Now, just to tidy up, I'll talk about love for a moment, because love does make the world go round. And there will be those close to you who have different ideas about this vaccination opportunity. Be wary of taking a stand that diminishes the love between you. Understand that in a free will world, we make choices for ourselves. And that means we need to honour the choices that others make for themselves that may be different from ours. Love each other for the gifts within and the God space within each of us. Consider also that there are those on the planet who seek to benefit from dividing us. You've heard the old adage, divide and conquer. What is the reality you wish to invoke in the future? And finally, a little story. You know, karma works in magic ways. Johnny has been a terrific and successful salesman for many decades. He's not a young man anymore, and he works hard for his money. And early in his career, he helped a fledgling IT company move forward. At the time, they had no funds or very little funds to reward him for his support. But he kept going on with little recompense. In time, the company flourished and grew into a multi-million-dollar business. Recently, one of the founding directors sold a significant portion of shares at a very good price. His initial investment had grown exponentially. He contacted Johnny, took him shopping, and bought him a brand new car. How do you think Johnny's feeling? Just goes to show that, you know, if you do good things, they will come back to you. Hopefully in this life, but maybe in the next. Well, folks, that's all for now. Have a wonderful Aries new moon. Use the energy wisely to benefit yourself and your fellow man. Till next time.